For many, the problem with politics is quite clear. When a lot of people think about politics, they think about one old man arguing with yet another old man about topics that we don't understand and, quite frankly, couldn't care less about. Now, we as Americans do work far less than our ancestors from 100 years ago, those ancestors who, would work 6 days a week, 15 hours a day on their farms. That being said, in today's world, when we're shuttling kids to after school activities, ever longer work commutes, or just trying to level up one more time on your favorite Facebook game, it seems that free time, true free time, is at a premium. And the idea of wasting our small surplus free time on hearing people blah blah about grain subsidies for third world nations sounds a bit ridiculous. Not only that, but we hear over and over again about what they promise us to get elected, and these same promises seem completely forgotten before the balloons and streamers are even swept up from the election night party. And if that wasn't aggravating enough, you only get two people to choose from anyway. What a system. This is a democracy, but let's review so far. The politicians sound very similar. They all promise paradise with no strings attached, and most of what they talk about is well above the average person. When the fateful day comes, you can vote for liar 1 or liar 2. Yea, verily. I can personally understand another problem. Anytime my lovely, beautiful wife wishes to tell me a long story, explain a new item around the house, or just wants me to pick up a couple things at the store, my answer is always the same. If I gotta remember something, then it's either gotta be told to me in 3 sentences or less, or I have to write it down. And I wonder if this is the same for a lot of Americans when it comes to politics. We need things in concise, easy to understand messages. Well, politics is a lot like this. Any important topic they blah blah about on TV cannot be summed up in a couple hours, much less a couple of sentences. These complex topics usually have many points of view, and usually people become swayed based on who's telling the story. In order to reach more people, the message gets simpler and simpler. Nowadays, a 3-word slogan has replaced traditional speech. From recent slogans such as Drill Baby Drill and Hope and Change, short, memorable slogans have had a long history in America. Another memorable one includes Compassionate Conservative, It's the Economy, Stupid, 1,000 Points of Light, New World Order, Kinder, Gentler Nation, Morning in America, The Evil Empire, Not Just Peanuts, Whip Inflation Now, Peace with Honor, I Like Ike, Honest Abe, etc. So why do they do this? Because it works. Slogans like these are easy to remember and identify with. There are people who are hired today to draft the exact words for a slogan that politicians and their cronies can say over and over to get the maximum number of people to agree with them. Really, a politician should simply say what's on their mind, what they believe in, and allow the people to choose whether or not that's a candidate they want to get behind. But that doesn't happen. Nowadays, politicians poll people to find out what they're in favor with so they can go ahead and position themselves with the majority of Americans. Now, there's a plus side to this. The positive is that usually your politician will be fairly moderate, at least in what they get accomplished. The downside is that you're quite unlikely to find anyone of principle, one who speaks boldly and truthfully about what they actually believe in. Besides, you know the saying, out of sight, out of mind. Well, your politician doesn't see you unless you're at a fundraiser or at a speech that he or she gives before the election in order to sway your vote. Ask yourself, when's the last time you tried to schedule time to visit your congressman or senator? Never, right? Well, then why are they going to give a damn about your petty wants once the election's over? Well, you'll say, 'cause I can vote for the other guy next time, you rage. Yeah? Unlikely. Almost all people identify with one political party or another, and the parties know this also. Republicans can anger business, and Democrats can frustrate Hollywood because those groups are so locked in with their ideologies and beliefs that they will not vote for another political party under any circumstance. Because of this, politicians know they're pretty immune to criticism or retribution as long as they're in the right districts that will vote for a party and not the person. So if they don't listen to you, what do they respond to? Two things, money and pressure. First is money. They gotta have money in order to buy the commercials before election time to beg for your vote, or more importantly, to smear the other guy so you won't vote for him. Why do candidates run smear ads? Just because they work. Research have shown time and time again that dollar for dollar smearing the other guy is far more effective than running fluff ads on yourself. You gotta have money to hire the volunteers, buy the office space, make the political calls, run the commercials, shuttle the candidates to and fro, etc. Little wonder that Obama raised $1 billion last election cycle. Based on the ease of his win, no doubt it was used to full effect. Second thing a politicians respond to is pressure. Just because your little individual concerns mean virtually nothing to your politician, they are very wary of angering a political action committee who are quick to react and whose memories are quite long. You tick off either Planned Parenthood or Right to Life, and I guarantee you will have calls made to your general public on why you are despicable and how you need to be voted out next term. People will be told that you cannot be trusted, liked, or voted for. On the other hand, if a politician is a good boy and does what he is told, then the organizations can be counted on to use their muscle to help rally the politician's base to keep him reelected while also crucifying his opponent. Besides, politicians are people too. They want to be liked and do not like people yelling at them. In the 80s, a powerful congressman, Dan Rostenkowski, wanted to make some changes to the Social Security entitlement system and was nearly mobbed at a local gas station after giving a speech at a nearby meeting hall. Here, take a look.
Have you been chased out of a meeting in your district before, Congressman? What? Have you been chased out of a meeting in your district before? Have you been chased out of a meeting? Bill Rexton.
You think I was chased out of that meeting?
It sure looks like it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Then Rostenkowski raced across the street to his waiting car and driver, still pursued by angry senior citizens.
He's supposed to represent the people, not himself.
Once inside the car, the congressman could go nowhere for a few minutes as the crowd surrounded it. Finally, Rostenkowski got out of the car and walked down the block, diverting the crowd away from the car.
I don't think they understand what what the government's trying to do for them. It's a problem, but it's always been a problem.
Do you sympathize with their anger on this?
No, I don't think they understand what's going on.
Moments later, his driver pulled into a gas station lot. Rostenkowski jumped in and was gone.
And finally, the problem isn't that politicians say no, it's that they say yes far too much. Being generous with your own money can be difficult. Being generous with other people's money, however, is quite easy. If a politician spends some federal money to help a select group of people, he wins the allegiance of that group while passing the cost on to the public. Research shows that politicians face almost no accountability for overspending and in fact are usually praised for bringing federal dollars back to their districts. We've talked earlier about the consequence of a politician saying no to pressure groups. So there you have it. We have a group of people who are paid to spend our money as fast as they can with no reason to slow down. They are rewarded for deceiving the public by being reelected and will be punished for speaking the truth with either being voted out of office or more likely not winning office to begin with. This is compounded by a public who is understandably confused with the whole process, yet tasked with the responsibility of deciding who's going to be in charge of them. Now, what can be done? The answer will be in an upcoming segment. And yes, all these thoughts and ideas have been said by many people who I watch, people like John Stossel, Peter Schiff, and others, and many other public people who've been saying now what I've been thinking for a long time. Thank you.